Right, back. Just going to show you now how we do the battery connections and start the thing up. So I've pulled out your two batteries, sitting them on the bench here, and when you've got two, this is how you're going to connect them together. They'll come with a set of these little jumper leads in each box, so you'll end up with a couple of spares of those, but they just push on here like this. A bit easier two-handed than one. And click them in on the bottom one as well. There we are, hear the little click. So I've connected the positive of the bottom to the positive of the top. We'll do the same now with the negatives. Doesn't matter which side, whether it's left or right, just whatever sort of works out neat. Now when we do our main connections though, we need to take one of them off the bottom and the other off the top. So you never connect positive and negative off just one battery. You go positive from one, negative to the other. Grab our two main battery leads coming out of your box, and here we go, black to black, red to red. Okay, so that's the battery connections. There's also a little link cable got to go in here, and somewhere I've misplaced it now. I'll steal this one. We get one of these little jumper leads as well for the data. So we go link port 1. So top to bottom basically. And so they just daisy chain. If you've got another third battery, you just daisy chain up to the next one. Over on the breaker box is this lead here, BMS CAN. That's going to go in where it says CAN. BMS stands for Battery Management System. So the battery CAN bus connector goes in there, always on the top one. So if you buy a third battery, you'll do a link cable from here to above and shift this one to be one up, and do the same with, you know, your battery terminals there. Now over here, so we're ready to switch on. Excuse the blur. Switch on, switch on. Little green light there, nothing else is happening. So what you've got to do, come to this SW on the master battery, which is the one on top. Press and hold that for a few, just half a second, and you can see now a few lights happening, all starting to wake up. Okay. So come over here now to your breaker box, open the lid, the main battery breaker, we will turn that on, the pt2 will turn that on. So that now, you can see that guy just woke up, and if we wait a moment the colour screen will wake up as well. The other thing you can now do is come down here to the multi plus and see the switch that's on the bottom, press that there to number 1. And if we have a look here, that now says inverter on. Why? There we are. Fix up the blurriness for you, and the touchscreen's waking up. Give that a moment. It's going to come up, and we don't want that screen. That's boring. Or that screen. That's boring. That's the one we want. So if you tap menu, tap pages, takes you in and out of the menu back to the main page. So that's the screen you would normally look at. We can see that the inverter switched on. It's drawing 9 watts just in standby. We can see the battery is at 56%. The DC power is not a real number, it is a calculated number, so don't be too stressed about that. Obviously there's no DC power running at the moment. And then I've disconnected the solar cables, but you would then switch on your solar, and then over here you would start to see, whoop, go back to there, you would start to see, you know, watts showing on the charge controller. The red square there is shore power in, so if we had some mains connection coming in, you would see shore power, you know, power coming in if you're running loads, etc. off shore power. Yeah, the next thing you'd have to do is actually turn on your safety switches, one for the shore power in, light and power, aircon, whoever your local Sparky wires that up for you. And we'll just do a quick test of the safety switch. There we are, we know they work. That one won't because there's no power on it, because we're not connected to shore power, obviously. So that's your startup procedure. And to shut down is going to be basically the reverse. You would turn off your 240 volt safety switches, come to the multi-plus, switch it to the 0 position. You heard the click, lights have gone out. The screen will update in a moment and we'll say off. Then come over here, you're going to turn off your solar, turn off your 48 to 12, we didn't mention that, turn that fella on and off, switch off your breaker, switch off your main battery breaker. System's now shut down, and then you come over to your batteries and off. You're now shut down. So everything's turned off. If you're going to be parked up in storage, that's what you'd do. Alright, enjoy the video. See ya.